Do you have a archive for that?
Yeah, so we have a few of them were deleted, but not all of them, unfortunately.
Do you have a
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, we couldn't access the VM and the few things we did initially.
Yeah, just a few of them. That's why I was so because what do you call it? Zoom has, I mean, you pay for storage, right? So we're paying for the storage, so we could only allow them to stay not more than 1 month. So that's why we said just download them and then so you can access them once you have the link. But I mean, going forward, the remaining classes we're going to have will just be available for you anytime, every time, always. All right. All right.
Thank you, sir.
My hands are up, sir. All right. So back to what we're doing. Yesterday we began looking at Git, and then we talked about GitHub. So I'll just go over it again, and then so Git is a version control system or a version control tool. All right, so I'll make my boss do this so that he can help me control things. Yep. All right, so Git is a version control tool, and then it helps you to keep track of your code changes, and then it's used to collaborate. So that's essentially what we did yesterday. And the whole we wanted to yesterday, I took us back to the history of how we used to have it before Git, and again, we also, also implying by implication, showing you what it will be like without Git. So if you have a bunch of codes or some document or whatever it is you're working on, right? If you don't have Git, there are a couple of things that you will experience. One of them is changes to your code is not being tracked. You will not have an idea on the timing, right, of stuff, who did what happened, and all of that. So, but with Git will allow you to, have an overview, help you collaborate, show you things on a very high level. Let's assume you're working, like sometimes you can be working on your system and then you get up and you leave, okay? And then you come back maybe minutes later or hours later, you will notice that you're trying to find out, okay, where did I stop? And, what happened? What was the last line? What was I working on or something like that? Git will allow you to know exactly where you stopped and what happened and all of that. So we are going to, today, I'm going to do again everything we did yesterday, and to also buttress a few points, and we take it from there. Please feel free to interrupt me at any time you have any questions. The goal of this class and trainings, I always like it to be interactive. The goal is so that you will come out clear, okay? You come out clear on every topic, on every subject we actually consider, all right? So please, I'm here for you, all right? I'm here for you. Ask questions, follow the class as much as you can, and then once we start practicing, I would like you to, as much as you can, try to follow. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share my screen very soon now. It has disappeared. Can anybody still see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not seeing what is Zoom doing. Am I sharing my screen already?
No.
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 Oh, yeah.
If I do magic. So the thing has disappeared on my screen. I just know I'm talking. All of you have disappeared. Henry, you're the one doing this to my
We can
system.
see your video.
It's not your.
Did I offend you? Okay, it's back. Can you imagine? Village people.
I think they switched to one person can only share screen or something. So I had to do the multiple thing.
Okay, sir. That's why it's good to have senior men. Thank you, sir.
Are you implying your senior man is the village?
No. My village people were showing me that I'm from there. All right. Those people have been accused wrongly a lot of times. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to share screen and then let me know when you can. Okay, so this was what we did yesterday. You can see it's telling me, you see, I updated this thing when 22 hours ago, right? So you see how beautiful Git is. For now, it's just saying one person, I'm the author. And then I can track the changes that has happened on this file. But let's go over what we did yesterday. So I'm going to start all over again, and but later I'll come back to this one, and we'll use this one to work, right? So the first thing you want to do is, like I said, you can. I really want us to start working as engineers. Okay, I really want us to start working as engineers. So that is why I would like us to firstly, I'm going to use VS Code to work. That's because that's like your best tool you have. I think that's one of Microsoft gifts to the developers globally. So VS Code is what I'm going to use. However, you can do the same thing from your command line, basically, either a command prompt if you're using Windows, or terminal if you're using any Unix-based system. I can use the same thing. So what you need to do, first of all, on your machine is to be sure that you have Git running. So if you don't have Git running, you need to download it. And you do that by doing git -- version. Now, I always assume and propose that this is the easiest way to check. There are other ways to check if it's running on your machine. You know that, right? You can go and check all your installed programs. But because this will not appear like a software you have on the applications, because it runs on the background, so you may not see it. So the best way to do something like this is to just do git -- version, and then you run it, you'll see that it is running, right? So I'm going to clear my screen. So this is what I currently have running. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll open a new instance of VS Code, a new window, okay? And I want to open something, and I want to open a folder, right? So this was what I was doing yesterday, but I did it through another means. So I can click open on your end. You may see open folder, but whatever you see, just know that you're trying to open a folder. Now this is the icon for folder, right? So I'll click open, And then I want to make a new folder, but I want that folder to be inside my doc desktop because I like, working from there. So I'll create a new folder and I'll call it, somebody give me a name now. Suggest a name for me.
Ebenezer.
So I'll
Ebenezer.
say Ebenezer. Speak up now. What happened? Are you owing somebody?
No, you said I should give you a name. Okay. Test code.
Test code.
Yeah. Test code. TESCO.
TESCO.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Hope you are not insulting us.
No, I'm not insulting. I can never.
All right. Okay. So okay, I'll call it Tesco project, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a folder, right? So I just click that and then I click open. Now you see it has open Tesco project for me, right? Okay. So once I'm inside the project, I now want to. So some people initialize Git before they even start creating files. Now this would happen if this is the first time. If this is the first time you're setting up your project, right? You need to do this, right? So I already have my project here, the folder. So this is the folder. So if I go to my desktop and look for that, I look for that. You see it here. What's the name? Tesco, right?
Yes, Tesco project.
Let's do it by modified, no kind. Tesco. Why is it not coming up here? Okay, it's somewhere. Okay, let me do this. Yeah. This Tesco. Okay, let me open my terminal. I'm not sure why it's not PWD. So it's okay, it's on my parent directory. So computer don't look up. Yeah. This is it. All right. I actually don't want you here. You're in the wrong place. I'll take it back to my listing and then go back there. That's removed. I'd close that and open it again because it went to the wrong place. All right. So let me open a new one and then open folder. And then I want to select what? Tesco. Yeah. Gotcha. So you see, I'm back there. So, all right. So this is Tesco project. Now, depending on how you want to go, but I would prefer to, once I have a file, a folder rather, without any file, I want to track from the first thing that I put inside there. Does it make sense? I want to start tracking, even before I write the first line of code, I want to start tracking it. So what we did is that I said, you go to terminal and you go to terminal, click on new terminal, it opens this. And then make sure you are inside that Tesco project. So once you are inside there, or the folder where you're actually trying to do, I do an ls or dir if you're using Windows. You try to list the files to confirm if it's actually empty. Now, if it's empty, it means that, yeah, you're in the right location. So I'll just clear. And then the first thing I want to do is I do git init. why I had to do it yesterday with a file is so that you could see the visible change, that happened, the moment we did it, right? So I'm just going to do git init. Now, the moment I initialize git, so this is how you configure git to start tracking, a project, or to start tracking what is happening inside of a directory. Does it make sense? Does it make sense, guys? Any questions?
Yes, sir. It makes sense.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah.
All right. So I do git init. You see what it told me, right? Initialize empty git repository inside where? Inside this Tesco project, right? So once I initialize it, the next thing I want to do is I want to now configure. So because as part of the configuration, there are basically 3 commands you need to run. The first one is git init, so it's git initialize. Then the next thing you want to run is git config, right? So you're configuring it to say, okay, this is the global user. So that means treat me as this anywhere you see me in this project. Do you understand it? So that's basically it. So I do git config, right? And then I do global, right? It's user.name. Okay, is username and user email. So you can do anyone first. So I'll do username first. So it's user.name. I'll type my name, Chris. Now, this is the name you want to be appearing on this project, not necessarily your name on GitHub, right? But I mean, I don't think anybody here has multiple names, except you're a chameleon or you're hiding for some other obvious reasons. But this is the name. This is my name. Obviously, I want people to know me about this. And then the next thing you do is you put your email, right? So email here, I would assume if you're working in an organization, you're using the organization email, because when you leave, you may not have access to that project, but people may want to track you as a member of the organization, not using your personal email, right? So for now, I'm going to use Chris at Coils Academy.com, right? So this is my email, and then I click enter. Now I have initialized.
The email is not correct. That is Academy ACA.
Academy. Good. So what I need to do, I'll run it again. So it will override it. Academy. Right. So that's it. So it will overwrite it. Thank you. So with that, I have initialized this thing. Now, anything I put inside here, what will happen is that Git begins to track it. All right. Git begins to track it. So I'm going to create a new file inside of this place. Okay. So this time around, I'm going to
Chris, sorry.
Yes, go for it.
The username you put there is the username you used in creating your Git account.
No,
Right.
like I said, username is your name, just your name. You see, there's no space. So, like I said, it doesn't. My username I have like 4 different GitHub accounts, right? So, which one will I use? So I'm just using my name.
Okay.
So anywhere you check on the project, this is the name you'll be saying. So if all of us are working on it, for instance, now, right? If you make a change, it's the name you configure that I'll be saying.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So that's the
Yeah. Also, before you leave this stage, is it that, like, if I work today on this project and tomorrow I'm coming back tomorrow to work on it, do I need to do git init and configuration again?
All right. So that's a very important question. So what we are saying is that you're trying to initialize Git. So this is like you are installing Git, but we don't use the word install. So you can only install it once. So once you bring it, it doesn't leave. Do you understand? Okay. For the entire life cycle of that project, once you initialize Git, it's initialized. You don't need to do it again. Do you understand?
Right.
Yeah. So that you don't need to reinitialize it. So essentially, once you get a project, and this actually happens when you're setting it up for the first time. Okay.
Okay, question. If you have another project, also, do you need also to run the Git in it?
Exactly. So remember, this thing is happening inside the folder. If I show you back my this thing here, right? This is it here, Tesco project, right? This is the only guy that has Git inside. This guy doesn't know anything about it. So if let's assume this one here is a project, I need to initialize Git inside again to track what is happening. So take, for instance, all these folders are projects. Do you understand? I also need to initialize Git inside all of them.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So the next thing I want to do, I want to create a file. All right. I want to create a file. I'm going to create a file, and then I'll start working, on that file. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create the file from command line. You can as well click here to create the file, or go back to this place inside here, right? Inside this, it opens, and then, create something, correct? So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, start treating us like engineers we are. So I'm going to use touch. That's the command to create this thing, HTML. So it will create an HTML file for me. And then what I'm going to do, just because it's HTML, I want to just do a simple HTML, right? Just do a simple simple web page, title, simple this page, right? And then just give it a body, and then give it H1. We are learning every day. All right, so let's assume I just come up with something like this, very simple. And then you see now, the moment I created this file, right, and put in something there, what happened is that Git now discovered that, hey, it looks like you are doing some work. Okay, it looks like you are doing some work, but I'm not tracking it yet. Right? I'm not tracking it, but I can see you're making some alterations or some modifications. All right. Now, this is what we call staging. Right? So this is what we call staging. So what Git has done, Git is saying that these files are actually, I can see something is happening, on this project. Okay, do you want me to do anything about it? All right, so you can now say, okay, yes, I want you to stage these files. All right, and then you stage them, and then you can commit them. But quite a number of times, what we normally do is that we just, add them, and then that is basically stage them, and then we commit them. So commit is what you do, and I'm going to explain that very soon, is what you do when you want to now say that I'm done with my changes, right? I'm done with my changes. Now, a lot of things some people mistakenly do sometimes is what people do sometimes is they actually don't save their document first. So the fact that you're using Git doesn't mean that you will not save your document. I'm glad for Visual Studio Code that is telling me that, hey, you see, it's telling me I have one unsaved. So sometimes people think because they are using Git, they don't need to save, except you actually have autosave that on, so you can use autosave on VS Code. And I don't like using autosave for a couple of reasons. Number one is sometimes you can just be sitting down like this and your hand adds something. Do you get? And you don't save it, but because autosave is on, do you get it? It just saves it automatically. And you can just close this thing, your mind is not there. And tomorrow you're wondering, maybe you're not testing it. You're wondering, when did why is it starting? Why did this suddenly stop working? Why is it throwing all this error? So I learned it the hard way. So I no longer, if it's possible, I'll remove autosave, right? It's good sometimes when you're working very fast, you just need things to be saving. But when I'm maintaining a source code or maintaining a project, I don't like it on, because your hand can just hit something or you delete something and it saves automatically, you don't even know. And then, it just continues to spiral down like that. So yeah, back to code. So
please, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to suggest that if we want to use the VS, that we should not use command line. That we should not.
So if I cannot teach you using the user interface, because I'll be cheating you by not showing you command line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might mix them together. I don't know.
No, don't mix them together. Learn this one. You will not even use this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris.
The doc type HTML.
Stop learning this. Forget about this thing I'm doing here. Don't focus on it, please.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask.
I mean, forget about it. I'm just showing you what I'm typing. You can decide to write literature.
Okay.
My name is. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't mean I just did that because I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
These programmers, I mean, this is a web developer. I'm just trying to say, let's assume I'm building a web page. Do you get it? It's not. Okay. I don't need you to do this. Do you understand? It's nothing. Okay. The point is that you have a file that has something. Remember yesterday what we were doing? We created a list. Do you get? So it's not. Forget about what I wrote here. What is important is that I'm trying to keep track of these changes I'm making.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So let's assume I have done some work today. Okay, I'm feeling good about myself. I mean, I don't want to start testing things, but I mean, let's assume this is what I was building. This is what I just typed now. Okay, we are learning every day. Tell me the name of the book. So this is just the web page I built. That's very simple. And then you can see up here is showing you simple test, page, right? So it's not something fancy.
So please, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
After now you created a web.html on yes, under this your folder, under this Tesco project. You have index.html. Can you still create another type of maybe .text format file also under it. And have another thing again inside the same project.
So this question you guys are asking is very wonderful question. What have I done now?
All right.
You created another.
This is what you are asking. If I can create it's just like asking me if a folder can contain multiple files.
Right. Okay.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're asking me now. A folder can contain 1 million files, 1 billion. So that's the answer to your question. Do you understand? If I want to create another one now, I can create another thing and say class.cs. This is a C# file. Do you understand? I've created, so it's it's just a folder. Stop making it look complex. It's just a folder. You have things inside. Are you seeing the 3 things I created here? This one is HTML, this one is TXT, this is C# file. I can create another Python file. Would you want us to continue? So this is a Python file. Do you get? So it's you can create, and this is how your projects will look like. You have a lot of files. You have different things. So it's just a folder. What I'm saying is that you want to keep track of the changes you're making, the new things you're adding. That's what Git is all about. Are you okay? So can we all now remove mine? Because it looks like some of us are worrying about, hey, code now. This is just an example of.
No, we just want to know. We just want to know. Yeah, it's not that we are scared. We just want to.
All right. Okay, so so what I will do next is to save this file. I've actually clicked on Control S to save it, but what you do is just go to save and then you save your file. You notice that unsaved has disappeared. Okay. Now, once it disappears, the next thing I want to do is Git status, use it a lot, right? You cannot overuse it, and you are not paying for using it. Okay, you're not paying for using it, so use it and overuse it. All right. So once I do Git status, it's telling me that I have files that are not tracked. All right. So what I now want to do is I do Git add. All right. So that Git add, what it does is that it now stages that file for me, not committing it. Right. So stage files are files that are ready to be committed. So now I'm going to say, okay, okay, let me do something again. I think that person that asked that question asked a very nice question. Let me do something here. Let me add a README file. There's a file called README. Yeah, README file. I'll say this is a readme.md. Yeah, this is a README file. Okay. Now, I'll also save this file. I want you to notice something. I'll do Git status, right? So how many files do you see am I seeing here now? You see it's saying I have how many files on track? 2, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's assume I only want to track one of the files. Do you get it? Now, what I'll do is Git add. Let's assume we only want to track index.html. I'll say index.html. So I do it like this. Now, if I run Git status again, so I'll clear my screen and then do Git status. You see here, so it's now telling me it has, so you see that this file is now staged. Why this one is not yet staged? Are you getting it? Are you following what I'm saying?
Sir.
Yes,
sir.
I did Git add, I only added this file, right? So while I have changes in this file and this file, I'm only interested in the changes that I have made in this file. Now, what does that mean? What does that tell you? It means that staging is a way to commit your changes. All right. So whatever you have not staged, you cannot commit it. Does it make sense? Whatever you have not staged, you have not committed. So you cannot commit. So we started this project. Let me go back and just walk us through what we've done so far. We created a project, and then we created 2 files inside of that project. For now, I think I'm okay with what I have done here so far. So I now staged it. So I've staged it, meaning that it's ready to be committed. All right. Now, I also made and added a new file, but maybe for some reasons, I don't think I have done anything significant here, or maybe there are changes inside it. I don't want to commit. I don't want to commit that change. So there's no point staging it. All right. So once you do git status, you see that it only is showing me my current changes, and it's telling me that I have one of my files that is staged. All right. And then I have another one that is not staged. So this thing will not be committed. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Are we clear with that?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So the staging is the git add stroke the name of the file.
So git add is to state. Now you see it here. You can always see it here on track files. You can see the instruction is giving you use git word add file. This file is you add the name of the file to include in what will be what committed. So that's it. So there are a couple of commands you are going to use in Git, and those commands are git add, git commit, git push, git pull. There are about 4 of them, and then your nice little brother git status. Just those 5 commands are the commands it's not like the commands are so many. There are a lot of them, but those are the 5 commands we are going to keep using and reusing and overusing. All right. So to stage a file, we use that word git add and then the file. All right. So now let me add another file. All right. Let me add another file, and then this time around, I'm going to add something. README. I said this is a README file. Let's assume I now add some more stuff on this file. I can say, okay, this is a README file. This is a simple project we are setting up for training purpose. Do not copy. Right. So I'll save this, all right? And then I'll come back here, all right? I'm going to add another one more file, all right? So because this is how it works in real life, okay? So I'll add one more file. I'll add a style file. I'll say, okay, let me style that this thing. I'll say, okay, I'll say style.css.
CSS.
Right? Why is this showing half? All right, so style.css. So right? So style the CSS. I'm going to add just a CSS file, right? Just to style my body, and I'm going to say background color, make it light blue. Let me see. Okay, let's make it something a little bit more fanciful. Okay, push, no, this one will confuse somebody. Let me use light blue. Somebody will think Chris is doing magic this night. Let me use H2. That's the tag I have here, right? So I'll use H2. Let's make the color another aqua. It's like it's women that built this thing, this CSS, kind of things I've seen on it. Let's say margin left. Let's make it auto, right? Okay, so that's fine. And then, okay, so because I've added CSS, right? Let me go back to my index files. Guys, I'm just pretending I'm adding multiple files, okay? So you can decide to add multiple files on your own end, or I just want it to look a little bit techy, okay? So don't be offended. So I'm just going to add a link. I'm going to link that file here. So what I'm saying, I want to now modify. Remember, we have staged this one, is it not? But I now want to make another change inside it just to show you something. So I'm going to say link, and then it's well, just add that style sheet. How do they spell style sheet? Then href, first name style CSS. All right. So I'll save this. So you see that initial one. So you notice that index.html, because I've changed it, you notice it moved from A back to M. What does it mean? It's saying, okay, even though you have staged this guy, you have modified him. All right. Now, I have 3 files here that I've changed things inside of. Now, let's assume, think about it, that you have maybe 10 files. Now, how do you stage all of them? And you want to stage all of them so that you can commit it. So how do you stage all of them at the same time? You start doing Git, and so let's do Git status first so that will show you what I'm saying. So if I do Git status, you see that I've modified this index file, but I'm currently not tracking these 2 files. So first of all, I want to add these 2 files and then be able to also add this one as well. Okay, so because if you read here, it tells you change is not staged for commit, and then this one's the same thing. So how do you stage multiple files? It's very, very simple. There's a command called git add. All right, just the normal git add we use. So normally I will start adding the name of the file, but that is too long if I have to do for multiple files. So you just use --all. So if I do that and click enter, it automatically adds all of them. All right. Does it make sense? So this is what you do when you have made multiple changes to multiple files and you want to track all of them. You want to commit all of them. So the next thing you just do is do git add --all. So instead of copying the file name one after the other, does it make sense? So this is just what I wanted to explain by adding more files to it. All right. So if you have multiple files that you have made changes to, you want to keep track of those changes. What you now do is just git add --all, and then it will start. it will start keeping track of them.
Idea.
All right. So any questions? All right. So if I do git status again, you see that you see them here saying, okay, I've staged all these guys. Okay. And then the next thing is, but there's no commit. So let's commit it. Okay, let me just test and see that this thing is looking like I want it to. Yeah, say we are learning every day. This color is not too good, but let's assume, oh, this is the best. This is the best website we have built. Oh, very fine, very beautiful. Love it. At least it has moved from this to this. Fantastic. All right, so now I want to commit them. So how do you commit a file? So commit now is now saying put this thing in a place and to say that anything that happens from here, let me know. That's what commit is, because I've labored to do this. So push this thing here. So because we have finished our work, we are now ready to move from stage to commit to our repo, right? So the next thing we now want to do is, so we commit it. Now, what happens is that Git considers its commit change points, or save points. So what it means is that Git will now start, it's like, it's like those of us that keep track of your vehicle. When you take your vehicle to service centers, after 15,000 kilometers, right? You take them and then they service and then they stamp, and then on the service book, a notice is made. Just okay, this was service, blah blah blah. So that's what a commit is, right? So somebody can go back and say, okay, this was the last time this happened. So Git keeps track of that change, so they can reference back to that time in history. So what we do to commit a message is just Git. So you should know by now that all the commands starts with what? Git, is it not? It starts with Git. So Git commit. So that's it. So Git commit dash, what's the word? What's the, who can remember?
M.
Exactly. M stands for what?
Message.
Exactly. So
Message.
adds a message. So what is the message? So the message is anything that would describe what you have done so far. Do you understand it? Just something that keeps track of that anybody sees tomorrow can say, okay, yeah, this was what this person did, and this was his commit. And then, so I'm going to say my first commit. All right. And then you close it with a double quote, right? Okay. And then you click on enter. You see, if you look at the message, the output here, it says 3 files changed. How many insertions? 23 insertions. So this is the beauty of Git. You see, it counted all the lines of code. If you want to double check, you can see that on index.html, how many do I have? 11. Is it not? It adds it to this 8 and then to this 3. So it knows exactly the number of this. So basically, I've been able to create a repo, right? A project or a repo, right? And then I've added this couple of files. Now, the next thing I want to do, right, is where GitHub comes into play, is GitHub. Now,
hello, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you go to GitHub. So this message that we are writing when we committed the thing. Does it? I just want to know, because you just write my first commit. It's not really describing any of the files. Do you get my question?
Yeah, so again, it's something, yeah, you should make it descriptive. I get your this thing. You should make it descriptive, all right? But okay. I just wanted to use that. It doesn't necessarily need to describe all the files. I'm just putting that as something closest to what I can, remember, or what people can relate with.
So the message is for the writer, not for the computer.
What computer has no business with you? This is your project. This is just a way for you to remember, and that's why I said, and that's a very important question you're asking. But remember, the goal of this thing, Git, is to help you keep track of what you are doing. Yeah. Do you understand? It has no business with the computer. It's just a way for you to manage. Do you understand it? Manage your changes. Keep that in mind. Manage your changes, help you to keep track, help you to know what happened. Like when we start collaborating now, because that's the next thing we're going to go into very soon. Once we start collaborating, imagine all of us here, 16 people working. Do you understand? Because that's how you're going to work on projects. You need to be able to know what this person is changing, how this person is changing, and those kind of things. So the message is just something to describe what you have done.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So there's no this thing. I mean, there's times we work in places. I mean, because we are not software engineers, I'm not talking about some things, but there are tech leads sometimes who will want your message to follow a particular pattern, right? They can tell you, okay, either use this code or something. There are people that do it like that. So, but if there is nothing like that, just make it as descriptive as possible. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah.
Please, okay, sorry. So from what you did now, in this folder, if you have 10, 15 files, once you commit, it's going to commit on all of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why we said commit is, so once you have staged them, remember, so it will only commit those files you have staged.
Okay.
Do you understand? If you did not stage in that commit, it will not, do you get it? It will not. So it's possible. So, and again, we'll try it and say, so let's assume I did not stage one of them. I committed, so that commit will apply to those two. Do you understand it? And then you continue. You continue to work. Yeah, nice question. I'm happy this.
I have a question.
Along. Yeah.
Now, inside this folder, we can create a new folder inside. Yes. Definitely.
Yes. No.
So after creating the folder inside, so are we to also? Yes, are we to also add it also, like for it to be?
So if I do status, for instance, you see, so because there's nothing, so a folder is actually nothing in computing world, is except there's a file inside it.
Yeah, the reason why I ask is, for example, this your index.html, like when creating, you added some images in your website for real, and the images will have to be in a folder where you are selecting it. And
I did not add any image.
No, I'm just saying, for example, I'm giving it as an example.
Okay.
So like when creating let's say creating the website now. So you have an image like you put on your code there. So it's directly going to pick it from a folder, the images.
So
am I right?
Yeah.
So my question now is, after creating the folder and putting the images inside it, and you run git status, it will definitely show it is not yet committed. So you still have to commit the folder separately.
So it's, again, I'm trying to see if I understand your question. Forgive me, but I'll just reiterate. So,
okay.
So this is create folder here. So I'm going to create a folder. I'll call it images. Right?
Yes.
So this is your question now. So if I add images inside here.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So you are asking if you need to also commit it.
Yes, because I'll be seeing like in my index.html, I've created a, maybe would I say, a fixed image and this directory also from that folder. I'm using the image form. So do I still need to commit that folder separately also?
You don't need to. I mean, I'm just looking at, I'm trying to get the question, but
maybe you can wait till after the class, then we'll discuss.
So, no, I understand where you are going, but I'm trying to simplify it for you, right?
Okay.
That's why. So I'm trying to see if you're asking something else. But if it's what I'm thinking is what you're asking, then I think I have the answer. The answer is simple. Anything that you need to know about, you need to commit it. Are you getting it? If you have images here and you don't commit those images, are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
You will not know about it. Do you understand? Git will not know about it. It will not keep track of it and all of that.
Yes.
Then if you happen to push it to GitHub or any other repo, it will not go along with it.
All right.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
It will not go along with it. And but I see your question is coming from a standpoint of linking an image. So let's assume you're referencing an image in index, is it not? And then you're not committing that thing if it goes up. So except you are deploying it from your local machine, but if you're deploying it from a public repo like GitHub or Azure repos or Bitbucket or anything, right? It needs to also be committed. If you don't commit it, Git will not see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So
Please, I have a question too.
Yeah.
And when you make those
sometimes it's difficult hearing you. I think it's your mic or something. Your voice is sounding like you are. I know you're a millionaire, but it looks like you don't want to dash us more money.
Okay. Let me see if I can solve it already. Can you hear me now?
No, it's not like I'm not hearing. I'm hearing, but your voice is not fine. It's not. I don't know how to put it. It's not coming out very clear. But I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's much better.
I think there is a voice on my background that I've closed it. Now there is a file I created that file, and then when you wanted to add in, you say add all. Yes, for example, if you have like maybe 8 files and you want to add like 6, and you don't want to use all. So what the way you do at that time, ready to add them one by one, or do we have any other code for maybe excluding other files?
Very, very good question. Very, very good question. Very good question. I will come back to that later.
Okay.
I will.
We didn't hear him.
But you did not say when he was talking, I was talking about Mike. Now you were making me feel like
So my mic is not good here.
yeah, your mic is not, it's sounding like you're a billionaire that doesn't want to give us money.
Listen, can you hear me now?
It's not about whether we are hearing you. We can hear you.
The voice is
But
poor.
the device you are using
poor,
is
yes.
poor. Yes, is poor. So if it's a headphone that uses Bluetooth, is it that the battery is down or something else?
The battery needs to be charged.
Yeah. If you can use your direct mic, it will be better.
Yeah, I've disconnected. Even my direct mic is not. That's what I'm trying to.
Okay, so but what he was asking, I'll come back to that later. So let's assume he's saying if you have multiple files here, right, and you made changes to a number of them, and you don't want.
I don't finish that line.
Kinde, please, can you mute yourself? You're always in a busy place. But I know they tire for making money. All right. So he was asking, how do you exclude? Let's assume, like I have.
Sorry, I'm there.
All right. So is that in case you want to add, let's assume you have 8 files here, you only want to commit 6 and leave out 2. So do you now need to do git add all? Because it will add everything, is it not? So how do you do that? And then you already know that adding them one after the other will what do you call it? I mean, it will be stressful, right? So that's this question. That's your question, right, Mr. Edu?
Yeah, that's my question.
All right. Okay. So let's go to GitHub first, and then we'll come back. I'll answer that question because I have it down the line, right? Okay. So are we still good? Are we all okay now? Can we proceed? The ladies are not asking questions. So.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, you can put.
All right. So the next thing we want to do is we now want to, excuse me, we want to push this thing to our public repository, right? We want to create a project here and then add that repository. So you can see currently I have 4 repositories. I'm going to create a new one, right? And then give it a name. The name of that is Tesco. Sorry, did I get the name well? It's Tesco project. Now the name doesn't need to align, just it should be something, excuse me. All right, so I call it Tesco project, right? Just make sure the name is available. And then you give it a description. You can see description is optional. You can add it if you want to. And then if you want it to be public, you leave it public. If you want it private, you make it private. So organizations will not make their this thing private, actually. But the thing is, if you make private is not free. I think there's a limit to the number of private repos you can have. So, I mean, that's just the way of making money. Because you actually dumping your code on their platform. Okay, so why would they be paying that storage and then your code is not public so that other people can use? Anyway, that's their own business sense. So this is it, and then I'll just I already have a README file, so I'm not going to add another one. And then I just create the repository. And then once I've created it, it gives me two options. The first one is this one here. So you see this one is saying use Git init. So this is saying if you're creating a new repository, of course, we have already created it. We have gone past all those stages. Remember, we've done Git init, all the Git commands, Git commit, and like you can see here, it's saying Git add. So you see it's saying Git add and then Git commit, first commit, and then so we have not done all of this, right? So we should not do. We have our own use case is an existing repository, right? So we already have an existing repository here. Okay, so I'm going to take those commands. Okay, so that I'll take the first one. Now, this first command, what it does is that, so this project is currently on my local machine. You get it, huh? It's currently on my local machine. It's currently on my local machine. Now, I want to create what? A remote repo of that same project, right? So there's local. I want to also move it to live somewhere where it's available and accessible by multiple users. So I copy the first command. You can actually copy all three and run them, but I'm going to do them one after the other. So I clear and I paste that command, I run it, right? So what it does is that it initializes and adds a remote branch. Now, the name of that remote is called origin. Now, you don't need to cram this because anytime you create a new project, it does that for you automatically. So you see, I just come here and copy it. But the name of that origin is, the name of that remote branch is called origin. Just take note of that. The name of that remote, so it's git remote add. The name of my remote repo of this thing is called origin. And then it comes with this name, Tesco project.git, right? I've done that, and then I do git branch main. Now, what this does is that it initializes the first branch. It's currently master. I can still use this thing as git branch master, but I want to use what they have used here as main. Okay, just to make sure I did not modify anything. So I'm going to use main, and then it will switch that thing from master to main, and I will git push. So git push is how you move this thing from your local machine to GitHub, right? So if I do git push origin main, so it's saying push that branch, and then what it does is that it pushes that thing for me and it's done. If I go back here and then refresh, you notice that I have my project up here. So the three files, the README file. Okay, you can see my README file here. That's saying this is a simple project we are setting up for training purpose only. Do not copy, right? So this is my CSS file, your simple CSS, and then you see my HTML file, very simple file, right? And then you see, if you notice, I now have 5 repositories. The first one, this file is what we added today, Tesco project. All right. So, any questions so far?
For every project, you must still create a repository, or you can use the one you have created before.
Why do you want to use the one you have used before?
Okay.
Don't answer now. It's not. So if your use case supports reusing what you use, fine. But I cannot have an application that this one is Okada Riders app, and I have another one banking app, and putting 2 of them in the same. Does it make sense?
Okay.
That's the answer to your question. So why, if your use case supports it, fine. I mean, if the applications are doing the same thing, remember, you're not creating it for fun. You're using it to solve a problem. Each of them is targeted towards one thing. So
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
How do we get to
How do you get what?
How do we get to the GitHub? Do I need to create a GitHub account? So
Yeah, you need to create a GitHub account. I thought you created one yesterday. I thought you already have. Didn't you push your code yesterday?
No, I was at the middle of the meeting when they called me, and then
So you need to create a GitHub account. I think I posted that in the chat, and we also did that a while ago. So GitHub is the way to collaborate. So remember, we've talked about Git, and then we're talking of GitHub now. So GitHub is just a repo. It's a place to store that code. So I can have multiple projects here. Again, I can lose this. I can lose this thing. I can lose this project on my local machine, but because it's living here, right, I can always access this thing once I can have access to my account, right? So yeah, so that's the idea of it. In fact, maybe along the line, I'm going to delete this one I have on my local machine, and then you'll see what I'll do to get it back. So yeah, you can. So you need to create a GitHub account, create a GitHub profile. Just sign up. It's very easy. It's free, and then you proceed, and then just create a repo, and then use the commands there. All right. So back to our local machine. Any other question? Any other question? All right. So do we want to try this out, or are we okay to move? Because this was what we did yesterday. I just wanted to go over it again just to ensure that we all get to the same page. Do we want to go over it?
To me, I think we should move.
Or we just
it's clearer now. We can move on.
All right. So I'm going to show us.
Let's move forward.
All right. I'm going to show us a few things now to help you. Now, Chris, how come it looks like you are a Superman and all of that? No, I'm not. There's something you can do. There are quite a number of commands. And you see, that's why our world is very crazy. There are so many tools, so many commands you're going to come over and over again. So how do you keep track of them? There's Terraform, there's kubectl, which is Kubernetes, there's Azure CLI, there's PowerShell, there's Jenkins, there's Helm, there's a lot of commands. There's a lot of, and then there's Linux commands. There are so many commands. So how do you keep track of them? It can really, really, it can be very crazy. So how do you do them? Every tool have what they call the help. So for instance, if I want to, so the help all exist at different levels. Now, I'm going to say this, please. I want everybody, I'm begging you in the name of God, please, I want you to understand what I want to explain now. I'll explain it again. If you don't understand, ask question. I'm going to explain it. Now, if I want to do a commit, what's the command? Who can help me?
Commit.
Git commit -m.
Commit, right. Now, if I want to do a git push, what will be the command? I've already said it, git push, right? So if I want to stage a file, I'll use git add, right?
Add, yeah.
Right? Now you notice that the first command is always what?
Git.
Exactly. Now the second command is what you want to do, right?
Yes.
Now that command is actually a verb because it's an action word. Please, Kule Kehinde, please, can you go on mute, sir? So
please, can we make it a habit? Once you're done asking your question or making your input, please mute yourself, please. Because I've been struggling to mute, and when you want to turn again, I'll mute and all that. So let's just make that a habit, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Please, guys, let's help ourselves, okay? So I know sometimes it's not intentional, but just do that for every other person. All right. So the first command like we said, is git, right? Then the second command is a verb. Is it not? It's a verb. It's an action word. So all these things we said, add, commit, push, pull, everything, it's a verb. So here's the catch. Here's the catch. If you want to do it at a git, on the git level, let's assume you don't know the command. What you do is you do git. Are you with me? You do git, and then you do help, right? And then you do -- all. Now what happens is that it shows you all the possible commands you can do with git. I'm going to enlarge my screen and then pull this up. So are you seeing it? So this is what we wrote. We typed git help all. Can you see it? So it shows you git help command to specific. So it tries to add them. Git add, git. So what does git add does? It add files, contents to the index. So are you seeing there's git am, there's git archive, there's bisect, there's branch, bundle, checkout, cherry pick, ctool, clean. Hey, somebody's now getting scared. So I see this plenty. Yes, it's even more. So there's git merge, git log. You see git init, right? We've used this one. So create an empty git repository to reinitialize an existing one, or reinitialize an existing one, ROM and all of that. Now, if I keep doing enter, it keeps bringing all of them. So these are all the git commands. Trust me, guys, I'm not sure I've used half of these things. Okay, but just to let you know that there are several of this command, and then we've gotten to the end. All right, it doesn't want to end. Okay, did we get that? So it's git help -- all. Now it shows you all the possible commands. But now there's another one. Let's assume I know I want to do git commit, right? But I don't know the next thing that follows it. So this is now when you're now scoping to the command level. So you can also get help for that. So if you do git commit, right, you just do -help. What happens is that it shows you how to use that command. All right. So you see it, git commit. So you're saying, okay, you are interested in commit, right? Now these are the options of commit. You can say git commit. Now this is what you are looking for. Oh, -m or -- message. Oh, fine, thank you. To commit a message. Do you get it? So you can use it. But these are other possible commands. There are times where you can be in a place, they'll tell you, can you go and edit something or force an edit? So this is the command. So you just use git commit -e, and then it will force something or go and edit a particular commit. Now, So these are this how to use it. Let's assume which one again. So basically any of the command you can actually think about, you will see how to get help of that. So you're not going to be stranded at any time. So you just look carefully at the one you're looking for. Like you can see git commit message options, and then this is -m, or you use -- message. It's the same thing, right? Claire? Any questions?
No.
All right. Okay, so we are going to get into collaboration now, and that's where we are going to practice what we're going to practice this evening together. So let's assume that we are working, our project is going fine, but we now need to move very, very fast. So we want to I want somebody else to add something to this project and all of that. So guys, I'm going to teach you a little web development. Now, P, can you see this line 9 here on my screen? Huh?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Now it starts with P. All right. So just basic programming. Basic HTML, sorry. So P tag is a paragraph. So if you look at this P, you see what I wrote here. Tell me the name of the last book you read, right? If you look at it here, you see it here. All right, nothing fancy. Okay, it's just a paragraph. So you see the P is not appearing, right? It is what we call the syntax. So it uses a tag. So I'll add another P here. I want us to collaborate on this project so that I want all of you, I'll share this thing, I'll show you how to get it, and I want you to make your own change and then post it to me back. So you just go here, don't go and overdo, don't overdo, please. Just put a P tag, okay? So just type, are you seeing it? Just use anchor or less than sign, put P, just the same way it appears on line 9, and then close it. It will automatically close if you have HTML rightly installed. It will close it on your end, right? So the closing P tag will have a // It's the same thing, but it will have a / P and then close back. If not, just copy this one. All right. If not, just copy this, my own. Put it in a new line. All right. And then here, this is what I want you to do. Just write. You can type anything. Okay. Let me not limit you. So you can type something. But here's the thing I want us to do before we get to that. Are we clear on what I'm asking us to do? Just edit this.
Can you explain it, please?
It's just very simple. I'm just saying copy this line 9, put it in a new line and write something just to show you are the one that wrote it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Henry, do you understand? Is it difficult?
I do. It's okay.
So I'm going to explain how it's going to work. Just copy it. I was trying to explain typing it, but I think some persons would think it's hard. So just copy it, go to a new line and paste it, and then just edit the center and just say, okay, Henry typed this or something. Do you understand? Just to show that you are the one. That's what I just want us to do. So now this is what I want us to do. Now, when multiple people are working on a project, now this is what we call branch, right? Now, this is what we call branch. If I do git branch, it will show me the current branch I have here, which is main. If you look to the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, you will see the name of the branch here. Are you getting it? Main. Now, I'll go back to GitHub, to that project, and you see that under Tesco project, if you look at this sign here, this thing is called a branch. Now you see, if I click on view all branches, you see I only have one branch. And you see it's my default branch. Right? Now, normally, you don't make changes directly to your branch, to your main branch. It's very, you see, he's telling me you haven't protected any of your branches. It's very, very risky. The reason is because your branch, like if we host, and we're going to do that by next week, how we connect, we can now deploy this, our website we have created here now. We're going to deploy it to Azure DevOps, through Azure DevOps to a platform as a service. And that's how you're going to see the whole, and that's actually the goal of this class. If you remember the first day, this was what I did. I created a project, I put it on GitHub, and then I deployed it using Azure DevOps pipeline to Azure. Now, you've seen the one part where you've learned how to create Azure resources, right? All of us can create VMs, we can create web apps. Now, we are now looking at the code part, how you collaborate, okay? Now, you as a cloud engineer, you will not be writing this code, but it's good you have an idea. You are also going to be making changes on the repo, but not the code. It may be some configuration files. It may be something else that you need to change so that it can deploy. That's why this thing we're doing is very, very important. So making a change. Now, when we deploy, let's assume we deploy this, our code online. This is what the whole world, imagine it's a web app, you know, just like Coils, Coils website. I mean, it's global. This is live. If I show you our pipeline, you know, the pipeline running this thing, you'll see it's currently live. It's coming from the master branch. You know, this our website is coming from the master branch. Now, you don't want to go and start changing it. I don't want to hire people tomorrow and, you know, they are making a lot of changes. Let's assume I ask somebody change these things or modify the colors or something like that. And the person is just, any line you change, the person can see it. Any line you change, it doesn't make sense. For instance, I can say, okay, here we're learning every day. I can now come here and say we are learning today. Okay. And then I save this thing. You see, normally it shows me here, I've modified it. I'm just going to do our basic command, git status, to see I've modified this thing here. So the next thing I'll do git add. Now -- all or enter the name of the file. But there's another shorter way to do it. I'll do git add dot period. So when you use git add dot, it adds all the files. So it's the same thing as using -- all, right? So this time I'm going to use just dot. So I've showed you another thing. All right. And then you see if I do git status again, it tells me it's now green, right? So the next thing I want to do, I'll commit it. So I'll do git commit and then do m message or -- message, right? It's still the same thing. And just say modified the header. And then I do that, and then I do git push. Now, the moment I do git push, it will come and update that guy. You see here, are you seeing it starts track that change? Index does here. And then if I decide to launch that file, what will happen is that, so you see, it said we are learning today. Previously, it was what? We are learning every day. But now, the recent change now is saying we are learning today. Which one are we going to follow now? Why are these people changing this? Can you imagine your developers are working and the whole world is seeing, this person changed it to this color. You notice it's not going to make sense, right? Now, to do that, that's where we now have what we call branches. So what is a branch? A branch is a new or separate version of your main repository. Okay, so a branch is a copy. You see that thing I was explaining yesterday. So to make a copy of this thing, what you just do is to create a branch. All right. Now that branch will have the same thing, the same code, exactly the same way, but it's not going to be interacting, directly with the one that you have live that you're serving to your current users. Imagine I have different versions. Somebody updated this, and that person changed it to this one, and that person has changed it to we are learning today. So I want all the changes to happen in a different branch so that I can be serving my public, my main branch. Does it make sense? So, does it make sense?
Yeah. But yeah, it is. So is your main branch that is serving the end user, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Now it may not be main another place, but the point is that there must be a branch that is serving exactly. So nobody should be working on that branch. In fact, you will know when you get there. You will see them that. So what that have also told you now is that there's actually your code or whatever, your application or whatever is served from a repository. Do you understand it? So that whatever branch it is, some people, you can even call it delicate, just if it will scare people away from touching it. Do you understand it? But there must be a branch that has that. Now, in all the clients I know, that branch is always protected. Right? And that's what we call branch policy or branch protection. So I'm going to because I want us to collaborate now, and I know somebody may go and work on that main branch, I'm going to lock that branch. So I'm going to lock that branch. So branch is read only. Users cannot push to the branch. Now let's see what's going to happen. I have locked that. Okay. All right. So I don't want to allow users, I don't want to do that. I don't want it to give me, even though I am the administrator of this project, right? So you see, I have modified this branch I've added a branch protection, right? I'm also going to add this one, require a pull request before merging. I'm going to explain what this is later on. So I go back to the code. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and say, who modified this thing? Remember, I modified this thing 5 minutes ago now, right?
Yeah.
Are we here? It's 5 minutes now. Yeah. Okay, 4 minutes ago, modify the header. All right. So let me go and try. We are learning today, tomorrow, and forever. Remember, I'm still on my main branch. So if you want to know the branch you are on, you do git branch, right? You see it here. If you look at your left-hand side, that's just one way you know. Okay. So I'm going to modify this branch now.
Before you modify your branch, please.
Yeah.
So apart on this page now, apart from the main branch, what other branch do you have here again?
That's what I'm telling you now. So you can see Git branch will list all your branches. So you can see I only have how many branch?
One. Okay.
One exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
just trying to tell you that currently I don't. Every project will start with one branch, right?
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Git branch will show me my branch. All right. So now let's see how do we now I'm going to try to, because I've locked that branch, I'm going to do something just to show you what I'm trying to say. I'm going to try to modify line 8 and say, okay, we are learning. Okay, no, let me add a new line. Okay, I'll just say, I woke up feeling so energized today. Right? That's simple. I save that. And then I'm going to do git status just to see. You see it's there, and I've changed it. And then I'm going to do git add. I'll use period. All right. And then I'll do git commit. All right. I'll do M. And then I'll add a message, updated my updated index. So this is the.html. HTML page with new status. So you can add, make it descriptive. There's a limit to the length of this thing though. Now, you see I've modified it, right? Now, what's the next thing to do is to push it, right? Everybody watch. I'll do git push. All right. So let's see. Did it go? Let's see. If it went, that means I've done Ojoro. Yes. Oh, it actually came up. Interesting. My branch was not locked. Okay. Yeah, I did not. Reverse. Okay, this was branches. Okay, it did not save that day. That's why. Press for this. Then log branch.
Create it when you finish and supposed to have three. It's like you didn't create the branch when you finish the other time.
Yeah. I didn't know. The thing is, I didn't add the branch name. Okay, so I don't want this. So yeah, so I did not lock it. I did put the branch name. It was empty, so I'm going to create it. Sorry. Okay, and then it's a question for authentication. Let me get that. Okay, yes. Right, so you see, branch protection rules applies to this guy, right? So I've added it now. Sorry about that. Should so if I try to modify again, okay, let me now take out that thing, right? I save that and then do git status, it will do this. Now there's a way to actually do git add and this thing at the same time. So if you do git commit -am, it will do git add and commit together. So I'm going to do that. My error, and then let's see, and then I'll do git push. It should complain. Can you see it? Can you see what it said?
Cannot change log branch.
Yeah. Is it? So it's telling me bypass rule violations for this. Resolving this, cannot change this. So I cannot make a change to that as far as that branch is concerned. So if I go back up there and go check, you see that it did allow me to, because I am the, what do you call it? The administrator of this, but it did allow me because I'm actually the administrator of this branch, but every other person would not be able to do that. Now, the reason we do this sometimes is, let's assume you have, we've been in situations where, excuse me, not sure why my laptop is not charging properly. We've been in situations where you need to urgently make a change, what we call hot fix, all right? Hot fix, and then you need to actually override a few things. Anyway, but that's by the way. It was able to override this. I think I actually made that setting somewhere on this account. But the point is that no other person will be able to do this thing. It had to bypass this rule for me because I'm the administrator. But while we collaborate on this, I'm going to reset it so that it will not even allow me as the administrator to do that. Now, the best way to work is to use branches. And that's what I want to show us how to do. How to work with. So here's the thing. If I do Git branch again, so Git branch lists all the branches I have, right? Now, if I want to create a new branch, all right, if I want to create a new branch, I can say Git. Now there's a command. I'll show us a couple of ways to do it. There's actually a number of ways to do it. I just had to pause here to to talk about this. Now, when you start having quite a number of branches, the way you use to move to those branches is a command called checkout. All right. Now, so when you do Git checkout this, it opens that new branch. If you do Git checkout this, it opens a new branch and all of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new branch, but this is how I would do it. I'll just do Git branch, and let's call that branch develop. All right. Now, if I do this, it will create a branch called develop. But I'm still on my main branch. Now, let's do Git branch again to see how many branches we have now. If I do Git branch, you see I have how many branches now? 2, right? Develop and main. Are you seeing it? But you see that my main is the one that is green, showing you that that's where I currently am at the moment. Okay. Now, let me create another one and say Git branch. Let's call this one let's say hotfix. All right. So I've created another branch, Git branch, using Git branch this. So if I want to list the number of branches I have, I'll just do Git what? Git branch only. So Git branch only. I run that. It shows me how many branches do I have now? 3, right? See main, hotfix, and develop. Now, how do I move from one branch to the other is what I want to show you next. You do that by that Git, check out the name of that branch, check out the name of the branch is develop. Now, if I click on enter, watch this left-hand side here. If I click enter, it will switch to develop. Do you get it? If I want to go back to main, I'll do git checkout main. You see, if you read it here, it says switch to branch main. And if you look at the screen here, you'll see this. Now, so why is this important? It's important. So are you seeing now, I have 3 branches. If I click here also, if I click on this place, you see I have the 3 of them. So let me go back. If you click this main, you see on the left-hand side here, if you see, I have my main, I have my hotfix, I have my develop. Now, this number you see beside it is the commit number where all of them are currently on. So at the moment, they are all on the same commit. But in a real world, you may never see them on the same commit because you're using them for different things. So I'm going to go to my develop branch. So if I want to switch to that branch, simply I can click on this and then just the same way, select it, it switch back to here, right? Or you use git checkout and then put the name of the branch. So whichever one you use is fine, but I'm going to keep to the command line. So I'm in the develop branch. Now let's modify this develop branch now and then add something to it. I'm going to just put a div tag and say, and then give a section and then just put an aside actually. I intend, sorry, and then I'll put a p tag here. I intend to do some good stuff here later. Now, I've modified the develop branch. Now I've saved it. You see it's saying modified, right? So if I do git status, it says I modified this. I do git, all right, add, then do git commits, all right, -m or -- message. Let's say modified my index file. Now I'll do git push now. Git push. Now, the first time you create a new branch and try to push it up, it will tell you that this thing you are trying to push, I don't know about this branch. Remember over here, sorry, back to that project, I only have one branch. It only has one branch. It only knows of one branch. So why are you now trying to give me something branch, another new branch? So he's saying, okay, yes, I know you don't know it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, remember I told you that your remote branch is called what? Origin. If you remember the first time when we created the repository, it ran origin. So normally I don't like cramming this command. So I'll just do git push. I know it will fail the first time I created a new branch. So it will not give me the right command. The right command is git push set upstream origin develop. So I'm going to copy that like that and use. Right. The moment I do this, it will say, okay, okay, you're fine. So it will create that new branch for me. So if I refresh this, you see that I have 2 branches. I have main branch, I have a develop branch. But you say, I thought we have 3 branches here. If we do git branch, right? You see I have 3 branches. Develop hotfix. Why didn't it push the hotfix branch too? The answer is simple, because you have also not set the remote branch for this hotfix. So it's only on your local machine. So while I have 3 locally, I only have 2 here. All right. So if I go back, you see that I have 2 branches. So if I switch now, here's the fun part of this thing. This is my main branch. This is where you know where you are. So if you look to your left-hand side here, again, stop me if you have any question. If I look up here, you see I have main. If I select, you remember it's the index page I changed. Now my main branch only has 11 lines, right? Now, if I switch from here now, I go to my develop branch, you see that it has more lines. Are you saying? So this is how cool, you know, what do you call it? Git and GitHub, you know, this is how cool it can make things, you know, look. So while the world and everybody will be seeing only this one that is running live, we are internally working and adding more features. Are you getting it? Oh, we are busy, we're working. Oh, just put on the line, get ready. We're coming up with new features coming soon. Maybe we are launching a new product. Those are the kind of things. So all those things will be happening on the background, you know. Meanwhile, people are still stuck on the old one. And then one day you just notice that what we'll just do, update this thing to our main branch, and wow, we have a new app. And oh, I love the color. I love these. I love this. I love this. I think I'll do something here. Why my main has this color, I can also modify the CSS just to show it's a little bit different. I'm going to make this one a little bit something like this, and then the H2 color, that aqua is looking a bit, let's put it here, okay, and then let me try and test that. Yeah. So you see why my main branch has this, my staging, my develop branch has this. Are you using one code? Because you now have different branch, it saves them in such a way where they are not interfering with the other stuff. Now, I'm just going to do git just to show that modification. And then this time around, if I do a quick push, it will go directly without complaining because it's there remotely. So if I check, so you see, now the one beautiful thing here is that if you see what it's telling you this branch is 2 commits ahead of what? Of main. It knows that my main is the default branch, right? So it's telling me that this your branch is actually ahead of the main. So the main is still that old school guy, nothing serious. It does 11 lines. The style sheet is still using light blue and aqua. Meanwhile, if you go to the develop branch, you see that my background color has changed to RGB. That's red, green, blue mixture. That's what RGB means. So it's RGB. So red is 17, green is 66. So it uses that to form the color. Then H2 is using this color. And then my HTML is there. So you see, this is how I can use multiple branches within GitHub, you know, using Git. Any question?
Yeah, thank you so much. This is brilliant. We can see what you are doing on the main page, on the main branch rather. Mm-hmm. But to see what you are doing on the develop the branch, the second branch which is developed, where can we see the display?
That's what I displayed here.
Okay.
But don't focus on this thing I'm doing. This one is just focus on the code. But I just wanted to show you that it's different. Just focus on VS Code, yeah. So this again, forget that I'm using code as what, to describe what I'm doing. You can use text files. It's just that for me, it may be a little bit boring if I use it to teach you. Do you understand? If I use just text files. Okay. But the idea here is I just wanted to show you that things, so that you can also appreciate what you're seeing, because this is my main branch. This is my develop branch, right?
Okay.
So now here's the fun part of this thing, and we're going to do that in a few minutes. There's what we call, and let's assume something now happens to my project, right? So remember, this my project lives on my computer, right? You see it's here on this computer. Now, the beautiful thing is that this thing we have only one file. Now, let's assume I come here, I delete this thing on my machine, and then I also go and clear my bin so that it's no longer anywhere on my machine. Now, when I go back here, you see it's already complaining. What happened? Unable to access it. I close this thing. Hey, God, I'm finished. No, you are not, young man. Calm down. What happened? He said, my code, I lost everything. Okay. So this is what all of you are going to do now. All right. So this is the project now, because I still have a remote copy of it, right? I have a remote copy of it. Now, what happens is that you come here and click on code. Are you seeing this thing? It's saying clone, right? So there are 3 ways you can clone it. 4, actually. You can download it as a zip file. You can open with GitHub Desktop. Some of you installed GitHub Desktop. You have 5 ways to get this thing. Now, you can use the command here to clone it, either using HTTPS, SSH, or GitHub CLI, right? So I'm going to use HTTPS. So I'll click on copy. Are we still here?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll click on copy.
Sorry, can you do it again? How do you get to that place? I'm sorry.
All right. So you come back to your project.
Yeah.
You want to stay on your main branch, on your default branch, all right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then you click code.
Okay.
So when you click on it, it opens the stuff. Make sure you select local. Don't select code space, select local. So when you select local, depending if you want to use SSH or HTTPS, you use. Now, I've set up my device to use SSH and HTTPS. You can also download zip, but I'm going to use HTTPS for now. So basically what I'm saying is, if you come here, just use the default. So select this, it will default to HTTPS, right? So with that, I'll just click on this thing to copy this whole line, or you copy everything here. Now, when you copy it, remember, I no longer have that thing on GitHub. On my local machine. So if I click file, if I click open, you see here, I don't have anything inside that Tesco project, right? You see, it's no longer existing. It's no longer existing. So what I'm going to do first is I'll open my desktop folder. Now, but this is what somebody did yesterday, where you have a lot of files. Now, I don't want to work inside this place. It's going to make life too miserable for me, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'll open a new terminal. And then I want to CD into Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm inside my desktop. That is where I want to post that code. So what I'm going to do, that thing I've copied, I click here to copy it. It says copied. You just do git clone, all right? Git what? Clone. And then you paste that in. If I click enter, what will happen is that if I go back here, you see it has brought it back. Are you seeing the date it put it? Are you seeing the time? 21:15, and that's my exact time here. Right? So you see I have cloned it, and then it has actually put this guy here. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'll click on file, open folder, and then go to that my clone folder. I select it, open, and then it will open a new instance of that. So you see, I have, if I click this, I have those branches, main and develop, back again. Right? If I select it, you see the same thing. I have the same thing. Everything looks exactly like it. If I switch back to, if I open another terminal and then just do if I want to switch to the other one, I say git checkout develop, and then what happens is switch to my develop branch. You see my develop branch has this color and the index has more lines, right? So you see, so everyone here, I'm going to paste it on the chart now. All right, I'll paste on the chart the link. So do git clone on your local machine on any place you want, whether you want it on your desktop or documents. You are going to, so the assignment now, the task is you are going to clone my project. This is which is this one here, all right? And then once you clone it, the first thing I want you to do is open it up, then create a new branch. All right. So create a new branch by doing git branch, the name of the branch, use your name. All right. Once you do that, now modify that one line on your own and then push it back to GitHub. All right. Let's do that in 20 minutes. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Are we all here?
Yes.
So I've posted it in the chat, sorry. It's in the chat window. Has anybody finished? Hello. Nobody has pushed. Why are we all on mute? Nobody's talking. Kinda, the way your network is.
We're still working.
Okay, sir. Chizzy, you want to share your screen? Kinda, your network is always, the way you exit and enter back is, even pilots don't fly like that.
No, I'm sorry. I currently have mic issues with my PC, so that's why I use phone to connect so I can discuss.
All right, sorry. Somebody can champion the cause and share your screen and walk others through. All right, who is stuck? Who is not stuck? Have we all been able to clone it? Let's start from there. Did anybody have issues cloning it? Doing git clone, then that URL?
Yes. You want to get okay.
Continue.
I want to ask if you are trying to git clone now, are we to just create a new page to run it on a terminal?
First of all, why didn't you talk since? It's now I asked.
No, I just got back. Like I just started. I just tried creating.
Why are you just starting when we gave assignment 20 minutes ago?
No, you know, I said I had network and my
excuse now is not valid.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry too, it's not valid. You have to update it.
I've been able to clone it, but I don't know what to do again.
I cloned it. I create a new branch. I want to paste into the new branch. It's giving me an error message.
Why is it giving you error message? You said you created a new branch?
Yes.
Okay.
And I did Git. I did Git. I pasted that in. I pasted that what I cloned. So I remove your name. I put my name there, and I press enter. Was giving error message too.
Read your error message, then follow what your error is telling you, because the error message you're getting is trying to help you solve it.
Okay.
Please go on mute. Somebody we're hearing background song. I want somebody to get it, then we'll use the person's screen to work. I'm still waiting for new branch. Is it that difficult?
Hello, Chris.
Yes, sir.
I have created a new branch. I've modified it. I think.
So you create a new branch, modify.
I've modified the index HTML. And it's showing M on here. So I'm stuck.
Well, why are you stuck now? Why are you stuck? Why will you be stuck?
Okay, let me do Git status.
Remember the goal. Remember the goal. Now, this is very simple. You are collaborating with your colleagues. So you have made your changes. You want them to see it. You push it up back to the report.
I have to do Git add.
Yes, you have to add all the things. Then you remember the goal. That's why I keep saying,
okay,
I want you to know the why. We are now collaborating. Let's assume you have made your change. You want us to see it, is it not? So you create that thing, you add it, you commit it, and then you push. That's all the whole thing we're saying. So we're just saying everybody create a new branch, make a change, right? And then push so that another person can see it. Do you get, like the one I did now, all of you were able to, you saw all the things I've done so far, right? On your local machine by cloning it. Is it not?
In the spirit of thanking God or thanking whatever you do.
Nothing to add to commit on track. Use Git add to track. Git add index HTML. Chris.
Yeah.
The Git add, is it the index ML I'm adding or the new branch that I created?
You can't add a new branch now. It doesn't work that way.
Is the index ML that I modified?
Do you then use git add dots? So it adds everything. So stop adding them one after the other. You saw I was using git add.
Space dots. Okay.
Okay, Chris, check. I've pushed mine if it appeared.
I'm checking. I'm not saying anything.
Nothing is there.
Did your git push work?
No, it didn't work.
So how come you're expecting it to appear?
Save.
I want to see if you get an error and if we need to fork the All right, so check if everybody check your own repo and see if it's there. Check your own GitHub account and see if you did a git push, check if it went to your own.
Yeah, my is telling me he tried to send it to mine.
Yeah.
But he said he denied it.
So you need to authenticate on your end.
From my end, right?
Authenticate on your end. So it should go to your own code. That's because you guys are not in my I've not given you explicit permission to contribute directly to my project. So the only way you can do that is using a concept called fork, to fork the FORK, the repo. Now, if you are able to do that, then you can contribute directly to this particular project. So, but try modifying it and then doing a push and let it go to your own repo. What I'm going to do now is I'll add collaborators.
Yeah, it's telling me to authenticate that I don't have the right permission.
Yeah, so let me quickly add us so that. So can you share your usernames, please? Your GitHub usernames. I think I've seen a few of them here.
I should send mine again.
I'm adding them now. George, yours is okay, George 1. That's your own destiny.
Please, I think I've missed, like I'm lost. Sir?
Why are you lost?
Maybe I've forgotten the question or I can't remember as in, I already did the git clone. Then I think he said we should create branch next.
Please, can you check mine? I've pushed it. Can you check mine? It's showing me compare and pull request. Every branch has recent push less than a minute ago.
Okay, let's see. All right, so guys, you people should have access. I mean, for those who have.
Did I get it?
I'm coming.
Okay.
Mr. Kainde, your question is very vague. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I can see your branch here. Okay, no, it's just his branch I have here.
Because I'm seeing a Henry branch has recent push less than a minute ago.
That's on your local machine. You've not pushed to the repo. Check your own repo if that's where you push to.
Oh, okay, okay. Where is it?
You must take that and then another thing. I like, yeah, if you enter, you must create that, but we are able to, because most of the daily list is not guaranteed.
All right. So it will probably, if you did that push, it will send it to your own repo.
Yes.
It will send it to your own repo. But here's what I wanted us to do. I've added everyone as collaborators of this code. But
okay, I think it has gone. Check.
But if you have a project that you're not the original owner, you don't have access to, just like you currently don't have access to mine, what you need to do is I think somebody has already done it. That's what Chizzy did. You go and fork that project, all right? And then what will happen is that
yeah, I did that. I did fork. It came up. I did it. I don't know why you're not seeing mine.
Why I'm not seeing yours is probably you did something else. I'm looking at all the branches. Your branch is not here. Okay, you went and created a pull request. So I did not say you should create pull requests. But I mean, you've actually gone ahead actually by going to create a pull request. What you did is correct, but I didn't want us to create pull requests now because we've not gotten to pull requests. But I can see your change. I can see your branch. Your branch is Henry branch. Is it?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Your branch is Henry branch. I can see your branch. But okay, it's fine. You created a pull request. We're going to deal with that very soon. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Any other person able to do that?
Please, can you see mine? I pushed it.
Hi, Chris.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, I think I can't see that page to edit it. I don't know what happened.
Which page to exit?
The one you give us to do, the one you are working on presently.
How do you mean?
There was a link he sent on the chat. You will see it. Well, copy the link and you will get it. Someone please to share his screen so that we know how he managed to finish his own.
I got it. I guess I got the link. I cloned the link. So I made a branch. I call it testing. So, and yeah, that's what I did.
Right. So, so some persons manage to get it, some persons are still in the process of getting it. That's the fun of it. Okay, so everybody check your emails. You should have gotten an invitation, a collaboration invitation for this. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you need to accept that. Some persons have not accepted it. Henry, you need to accept.
Yes, I'm good.
Kevin, you don't have you've just been very quiet. You don't have a GitHub account. I don't see your GitHub account in the chat. Right. So now those issues, those of you who are having issues to create your own branch and push, it should disappear. So it's 3 commands I expect you to run, 4 maximum. Is git branch, the name of the branch you want to create. So it's git branch, let's assume hotfix, or bug fix or anything, maybe your name. And then you make a modification after you create that branch. And then you do git add, git commit, and then git push. So that would push that your change to this repository, and then we'll have it. All right. So that's the task. So I expect you to do git clone first. After git clone, you do git, you create your branch. So create branch, name of your branch, right? And then after that, you run another command, git add period, then
Yeah, so that's where I'm kind of stuck now. I want to add to the HTML, but
what?
Well, I copied the line 9. I paste it to the VS Code. I don't know. I think I'm getting something wrong. But I know it's not supposed to copy it into the VS Code.
Do you know the goal of what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I want to have something to what you are doing, what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you did it in HTML.
Must you do in HTML? Do another place if you cannot change the HTML now.
Okay.
There are 3 files there. Go and modify the README file if that one. The other one was not working.
Okay, let me see this one.
Yeah.
Harry, share your script so that you can teach others.
Harry doesn't want to share his screen. That's how big.
I have this question.
All right.
After you create a new branch, are we expected to switch to the branch?
Of course. No.
Okay.
That means
So
you're not
after we
following the
switch,
concept. Now, these things are the things I'm actually wanting you to answer on your own. What is the essence of a branch? You have logged up.
branch. No, a branch. With the explanation you made, I guess, is to make some edits and it will not affect the main.
Exactly. So why are you not asking if you should switch there and you have an intention to make a change? Do you understand?
So,
The idea is you're creating the branch to make a change, right? So you create the branch, you change to that branch, make your change there. That's the idea. So that you don't affect the other main branch.
Thank you.
Because when you start working, nobody will tell you. What they'll just tell you is, okay, go and modify this thing. But I mean, it will be very, very funny that you just go and start modifying the main branch. All right. So if you have a task, hey, can you go and update this thing? Right. What you just do is, okay, get the repo, do a git clone. If that's the first time you're going to be working on that project, you do git clone of that URL, and then you create a new branch. All right. Once you create a new branch, you switch to that branch and start working. Right. So once you're done, you push your changes in that branch. Right. I mean, the pushing is the first step. There's something else that needs to happen after that, which is what Henry actually did by raising a pull request. Anybody still stuck?
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Are we still good? Is there anything you want me to go over again, guys?
Yes, Mr. Chris, if you can repeat that once, we'll see how we can go from there.
Repeat what?
How we can clone, how we can
I think I pushed one. Can you check, Mr. Chris?
Who was speaking? So I currently have 4 branches. So I can see Ebenezer's branch, can see Jesus' branch. Henry raised the pull request. I can see your branch as well. None else, no one else. But make sure you've accepted.
I did.
Make sure you've accepted.
With a pull request for testing.
So you're a collaborator. So once you're a collaborator, okay, 5 branches now. I can see. Yeah, I can see Kena's branch.
So, sir, after creating the branch, edited the .html, then modified it. The next thing is to have the git push. So I created git push setup string original Kenny. Then I got an error there. Permission to Chris Tesco project gets denied.
Did you accept this deny sign collaborator?
On a personal mail or Coils mail?
Is your personal email? Did you paste your the day I asked us to paste?
Yes, I did. The GitHub.
What's your username?
Ktex. Let me send it. Let me type it. Let me send it out.
Because you didn't send it that day. It's not in the list.
Mine is showing everything up to date. I don't know if but you can't see it.
So I've sent my username.
I'm covering this. So you should get an email now. Then accept, and then you should be able to do that. George, please can you share your screen? You're not.
Okay. This is what I have. So I've cloned. This is my branch.
What did you clone now?
This is it.
Where's my work inside the project? I can't see any file here.
No, can you see up here? Can you see my mouse?
That's not what I did now. I don't have any file called practice. So there's no file in my project called practice. So I'm not sure.
I named it. Oh, okay.
Why are you naming it now? You're doing another thing. I say clone the project, change something inside it, and then push it back. So you can't be changing the name of the file. That's not what we are doing. And then we're not even seeing all the files. So this is my project. Go to code, go to click on. Yeah, hold on. Click on test code projects.
Test code project.
Here. Where you have README here.
Okay.
Not there. Where you have README, test code projects. Where you have.
Okay, this place. Okay.
Go and clone it again. Copy the code to clone. Now, this was what I was telling you guys. If you don't have access to a project, you don't need me to add you directly. You just come to fork and then you click on fork. So if you do that, you'll be able to fork that project, right? Otherwise, then you can now copy that link and then clone that.
Do you have I can't see any fork here or something.
You're not looking now on your screen. You see here where you have watch. You're not seeing the
okay.
I use. You can see it as well. So you see it's a fork your own copy of this project. Now, this will allow you to do that. The second thing is you can still use that code, click on code, and then clone it. It will still give you that same distance. Copy this link now at the end. Copy that. Yes.
Yeah, I copied it. I go to VS.
Don't put it there. That's the problem. You're putting it inside a file that you already initialized with Git. Make sure it's a new location. It's a new location you're putting it inside. You cannot be putting my project inside your existing project. This your Git location is already a file. Do you get inside your user space? So if you're cloning somebody else's project, put it in an upper level directory. And that's what I was explaining to you. So put it in a right place where you want to this thing. So you cannot put it inside there. It's either you come here, open your file and save it somewhere else, or from VS Code, if you know how to navigate from VS Code, you can save it in the right place. But the first thing is make sure the file is saved in the right place. So that's not what you need to do. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
You're not listening. So how do you open a new folder? You are in your project. This is not what you should do. That's not what I want you to do. So you click on File and open an upper level directory where there is no Git currently. So you need to open a folder. So select either your desktop or downloads or somewhere you want to put that project and select it first. Don't save.
Don't save, okay.
So the first thing, this is what I was telling you. This will now open all, it brings, this thing, are you seeing your left-hand side here?
Yes, yes.
It has brought all the files you have on your desktop. Now, this is not what you want to do, but if this is where you want to clone it to, the next thing you need to do first is to open terminal and run that command to make sure that you clone it inside of that place.
Okay.
So are you seeing you are in your desktop location now? You are inside desktop now. So this is where you now run git clone. It will now clone and add it here. Then you can now open folder again and open it.
So I can copy now, right? I can paste now.
What are you pasting now? What are you, did you listen to what I said?
Yeah, you say I'm now in the desktop now.
Did I tell you are seeing it before they accuse me? You are seeing you are in desktop, so you can now clone it inside there.
Yeah, no, I copied it already.
We are saying the same thing. I say you can now clone. So
okay.
I want you to use the right tense, not copy. You clone it.
Okay, okay.
Git clone. That's why I'm using the word git clone. Then you paste that URL. Then you now open this folder. That's the thing.
Okay. Open it.
What are you looking for?
So I open the folder.
So you cannot open it there now. So you need to go back to file and open folder, or you use the start menu there and open folder and open that test code folder. So that thing you're seeing there is validating that it has cloned, right? So you now need to go and open it so that it's the only thing you are seeing on VS Code.
Desktop. Oh.
So this is what we are saying. So you've now opened it correctly. So it's now.
Okay. Okay.
So what are you to do from here?
I will write my input.
No, create your branch. You can look at the button that you are in the main branch.
Oh, okay.
Create your branch. That's the task. This man is using the GUI. Why not use command line? That is also fine, but I prefer you do that. When you learn it very well, then you can use this one. Open terminal.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out. Git
branch. So if you look to your left-hand side, then you now need to switch to your own branch now. If you do Git branch, it will list all the branches you have.
Are
you seeing it?
Yes.
So you now need to switch to that branch. Git checkout, then the name of the branch. Or you learn how to use help also. I use that a lot. So the main thing is to know what you want to do, and then, so are you saying you switch to that branch? If you look to, also if you keep your eye on the bottom, you see you're in that branch. So this is now where you can make your change.
Okay.
So you can now modify any of the files you want to. If it's the index, if it's whatever, you just do that, and then that's it. Yep. So please, those who are not able to get it, make sure you follow this this prof. There should be space. Every word you do in it is different. Yeah. See, if you notice the end, it added that plus sign to that to tell you it's now, you see the now showing modified.
Yeah, okay.
Fine, fantastic. Then the next thing I'm gonna do. Copy that push command that it gave you. Like I told you, when you do it for the first time, because it's a new branch, if you do git push, it gives you the offset upstream command. So just copy it and then run it. There's a leading space before git, so make sure you remove it or copy it from the first. So if you go back to your browser, you should be able to see your own branch, even without me checking here. You should be able to see your own branch now. Click branches, so you can see branches there. Click branches. Where you see 6 branches, you click.
Okay.
Yep. So are you seeing it?
Yes, test one, test one.
Yeah. So how many minutes did it take?
Like 5 minutes.
Exactly. So you see, how all of us can work on one project, right? And
Yes.
you see nobody is fighting each other, the same code. So you see, you did not save multiple files, but you see, you can still see what Chizzy did, you can see what Ebenezer did, you can see what I did, and then it's tracking what all of us are doing. Do you get it? So next week, what I'm going to do, because our time is over, I know some persons need to go to work. I'll show us now how we can now integrate our changes together to one file. Do you get it? Because that's the essence of collaborations. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so how do we, you see, it's showing you their compare and pull request. So let's assume you and Chizzy, you are to work together, right? He has made his own change. He has also made his own change. You see, you don't have his change. He also doesn't have your change. How do you now, merge your changes? And that's where we now begin to use things like git merge, right? So you use git merge to pull changes, right? And you use cherry pick and a few other commands that we are going to see going forward. And quite a number of them, you can do them from the screen on GitHub. So I'll show you how to do them on GitHub and then show you how to do them on your local machine. All right?
Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time. So anyone still having issues, feel free to reach out and then we can sort it out, or reach out to your mentor or anybody here in the team. I mean, it should be something should be able to assist each other on.
Good blessing.
All right. If there's no question, I'll call it today. And thank you very much for joining the session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, boss.
So
I think I should be able to show you what I was talking about that time. I think I later got it.
okay. You are a champ now.
No, I'm still a small boy. The one I was asking about, that new folder for image. What should be this? Okay, let me share my screen. So can you see it?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So this was the folder I was talking about for these images.
So what's the question?
So the question was like that time I wasn't able to speak it. So I was like, I asked if it's okay, you explained to me that it will not be when I push it, it will not go along to it my git if I don't also commit it. So this was the part I think I later committed this. So I just wanted to show you that the data got committed and it became successful.
All right.
So thank you, sir.
All right, sir. You're welcome.
Yes.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Have a beautiful week. Please feel free to reach out and let's go over anything that you're not clear with. All right. I'll post the link once we're done, so you can go over the course of the week.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Cheers,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Chris. Hello. Mr. Chris, are you still there?
Hey, come in.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
You did not decided not to answer me since.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
I'm not really getting the stuff. I wasn't there yesterday, so I've not been able to create my Git accounts.
All right. Start with creating the GitHub account. It's a very simple decision to create.
Maybe I will call during the week, tomorrow or next tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. But before then, see if you can create